You can hear those school bells. Well, back to school next week for most area students. The future of education has technology at its center. More and more schools are changing their classroom experience to include more technology like laptops and tablets. Cheryl recently spoke with an education expert about this very topic. Here's the conversation.
The start of the new school year just around the corner for most Virginia students, and some are already back to the classroom. Education expert Latoya Drake joins us by satellite from New York for a look at some of the back-to-school trends and some new tools for both teachers and students. Good morning, Latoya.
Hi, good morning.
Good to see you. Technology is such a big thing now in both the classroom and for kids at home. What are some of the new things that we're looking at?
Certainly, technology has really changed the way students learn and also how their teachers interact with them. We've made some updates to one service called Google Classroom. And if you're not familiar with it, maybe you're not in school or maybe you're not an educator, but it is something that 30 million teachers and students are using worldwide. And what it's meant to do is, one, give teachers the ability to stay organized, to create assignments, announcements, stay on top of grades for students, even launch pop quizzes from a piece of technology if they need to. But for kids, what's really unique about it is that hopefully it teaches them the skills that they will need when they leave school and get into the workplace. And by that we mean interaction, engagement, the ability to communicate with your teacher even if you're at home and you're working on an assignment, to work with your peers, to work with students, to collaborate on a project, on a doc, and to get the help that you need. And for parents, it also brings them into the fold so that they're not really left out of all of these changes that is happening with technology. Helps parents monitor, have kids turn in their assignments when they need to, see what information their teachers need from them. So yes, while this behavior is behavior that we are all used to, it is really looking at how technology can hopefully improve it and make it a little bit easier for teachers, parents, and students.
And this is one of the great things because the children these days are using so much technology. This kind of just brings it into their world so that they're learning the way their minds are thinking these days.
That's absolutely right. And in many cases, if you just think about the behavior of a young student, if they're working on something, they may not get on the phone with a classmate and say, hey, can you help me with this? They're all on their phones, they're on their devices, they're able to just collaborate from there. So we're not trying to replace behavior, not trying to replace learning behavior, but really thinking about how technology can play a role and be useful to everyone.
Can you talk more about some of the tools that are available? Because I'm sure they're on different levels. The educators use one level of tool, the parents use one level of tool, the students use one level of tool.
That's right. I can give you an example. So if you are a teacher, one thing that you might want to do is, if you've got technology in the classroom, and we say technology using, Chromebooks as an example, which are in many classrooms around the world, a teacher can start a pop quiz on her end or his end, and the students, if they've got the devices in front of them, they can take the quiz. What the teacher does is they have a little bit more control over what that experience is, so they can lock it down. It's called lockdown mode, so that the student can't go outside of the quiz, can't go to a web page and look for answers, which we hope that's not what the student is doing. So that's what we mean when we say it gives the teacher more control. Now, if you are a student, you can see all of your classes in one place. You can see all of your assignments that your teacher has assigned to you, work on them as you need. And if you're a parent, you want to make sure that you can see that here are the deadlines, here's when this is due. You may ask your child, they may say, oh, I don't know, I forgot, but your parent has the same access to the information that the students have. If the teacher gives it to the student, the parent can see it as well. So again, it's meant to bring you all together, really spark that collaboration, and make sure we have all the access to the information that we need to stay on top of our classwork.
And one of the interesting things I was reading about is you have a program called Be Internet Awesome, and it helps the students to be more educated when it comes to being online.
This is one of my favorite programs of ours, and technology is something that we're all familiar with. It's not going anywhere, but we do want to make sure that kids are smart about their online identity. They understand the importance of safety and security and protecting themselves, managing their passwords and things of that nature. But oftentimes this can feel abstract if you are a child. So we created something called Be Internet Awesome, and it creates games that take this information that we as adults are talking about and familiar with, and it makes it important to children. It helps them see through a series of games and tutorials why you should care about this, why you should be thinking about your safety and security. And again, we're thinking about things that parents think about safety and security, but it's also something that should be made available to kids, and we wanted to create something that would make it fun for them to explore and learn about.
And something that parents and students should look at together, and parents need to know what's going on online as well.
Absolutely, and it's also something that teachers, if they wanted to use it as curriculum, could use in the classroom as a teaching mechanism or a set of tools that they can teach students.
Do you have someplace where our viewers can go if they'd like to find out more?
Yes, they can learn more at edu.google.com.
All right, thank you so much, LaToya Drake, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Have a great day. And if you'd like to get more information, we'll post a link to their website at WTVR.com/VTM.